I really enjoy the agave because agave have a characteristic that it's really light, the inside of the agave, and the best thing I did, we collected the tree after she died. The plant takes some years to grow, and at the end give a big flower that can grow maybe 6-7 meters high, and she give the flower and the seeds, and all the plant die, and we just collect it after all this process. So it's the most eco-friendly that we can do on the nature, that it's collect something that it's dead. First I need to build the board for the bottom, and normally I use 5 centimeters of agave, the stripes, and 1 stripe of paulownia. I build like this because on the bottom we don't make pressure with the feet, so we can use more agave because it's really light, and less paulownia, that it's resistant. And after build this conjugation of wood, this board, I draw the outline that the client wants, and I start to build the ribs inside with the thickness that the client wants for the board. I make all the ribs. I put the ribs 10 and 10 centimeters. On this time I can put the reinforce for the leash plugs and for the fin plugs, and after build all the inside ribs, I start to build the deck. The deck is different because normally we make more pressure with the feet, so in my technique I use the 2 centimeters of agave and 1 stripe with 1 centimeter of paulownia. I think this conjugation is the more balanced one. 2 per 1, I think it's much more resistant and light. I glue the deck and the bottom. They are connected by the ribs, and when this process is finished, I can remove the board from the rocker table, and the board stay with the rocker that we want. On this time I draw again the outline, and I cut the board, and after I glue the rails on the side, I shape it, and the board is ready for the lamination. On the lamination I use an ecological epoxy from Entropy, so it's always the option of the client. If they want the product the most sustainable and ecological as it possible, we can use even line or cotton, for don't use the fiberglass. If they want to see the board, all the colors of the wood really clear, we need to use the fiberglass. The hollow boards, they have this characteristic that have air inside. So with air, you know that when it's warm, the air expands, and for don't damage the board, he need to come out for some place. So we use a little valve for breathing, for the board can breathe. Yeah. We build wooden fins too for future and the FCS system, and sometimes we put fixed fins on the boards, like it's more for the long boards. And normally I use the same wood than the board, on this case agave, but I just use a little thickness of wood, maybe 3 or 4 millimeters, because the fin needs to be really resistant. So the resistance of the fin it's made by the resin and the fiber. These boards are a little bit more rigid than the others, don't have so much flexibility. The seat's good, really good. When the seat's really glassing, it's really nice because it's faster than the others. But at the same time, if the ocean is more bumpy, it's a little bit more hard for the knees because this vibration passes to our legs. Boards are more resistant and can take you alive because you know the other materials from petrol. The materials start to be tired and damaged, and the fibers of the wood, they are always equal and stable. So if you take good care of the board can take you alive. I'm not a great surfer. I surf more than 20 years, but I think my surf it's the same than when I start to surf. But since I start to surf with wooden surfboards, I don't want to surf with other boards, because it's this that the feeling that you have when you go to the water with an eco-friendly board, that you respect as it possible the nature. For me, it's the best feeling that you can have when you are surfing, because the surf depends each one. This feeling that you are with yourself, with tranquility, that you have a really good product on your feet. It's the best feeling.